A successful government interagency collaboration can be measured by the fruits of its labor. The partnership between the Cooperative Development Authority and the Department of Agrarian Reform has shown that challenges can be overcome, goals can be attained, and most of all, lives of people in the community can be transformed. The Cdadar Partnership is also proof that ordinary individuals can be the leading protagonists in a success story worth retelling to the world. From among the thousands of cooperatives in the country that have raised their stature, 15 were chosen to be featured as success stories born out of the partnership. Of the 15, 3 cooperatives were handpicked to highlight the struggles and triumphs of agrarian reform cooperatives, with their members the main actors of their stories in these video productions, featuring the Sagrada Farmers Producers Cooperative or SAFAPCO in Barangay Sagrada, Viga, Catanduanes. The Capi Small Coconut Farmers Multipurpose Cooperative, CASCO-FAMCO, in Barangay Undoy, Ivisan, Capiz, and the Blaan Clayag Anda Dido Sinasto, BCADS, in Barangay Bakong, Tulunan, North Cotabato. These 3 cooperatives may be situated in the different parts of the country, but they went through the same trials and tribulations and emerged victorious, thanks to the guidance and assistance of CDA and DAR. SAFAPCO, CASCO-FAMCO, and BCADS are the living testament to effective synergy of CDA-DAR partnership and the selfless devotion of the men and women behind these government agencies, whose efforts and expertise were the vital ingredients in this collaboration. At first glance, Barangay Sagrada, a rural village in the municipality of Viga, Catanduanes Province, looks like just another dot on the map. But like many areas in southern Tagalog, Sagrada is an abaca-producing barangay. Its people also grow rice and root crops for food and commerce. Groups like the Sagrada Farmers Producers Cooperative or SAFAPCO have been contributing to the growing abaca production industry in the country, particularly in Catanduanes, which is considered as the largest producer of abaca not just in the Bicol region but in the entire Philippines. SAFAPCO was on its way to becoming a major player in abaca production in the province when an unfortunate incident wiped out its records and documents, where it almost crippled the cooperative. But the fire that consumed SAFAPCO's papers was not the only challenge that it had faced. Its members were disheartened as well due to the mismanagement of its past officials, and for half a decade the co-op has not progressed. But slowly its members gained enough courage to continue what they had started, and the co-op was on its feet once again. This time, under a new leadership and a new vision that would propel SAFAPCO to new heights. The Sagrada Farmers Producers Cooperative, SAFAPCO, was created in 2004 by 36 agrarian reform beneficiaries whose means of livelihood include rice and root crop farming, cash crop production, and abaca growing. For the members of SAFAPCO, abaca production involves hard labor and the mercy of the elements, since yield is only at optimum during the dry spell and would decline during the rainy season.
Tumaas nga ngayon yung presyo ng abaca, pero mataas din ang presyo ng bilihin. Doon kami nagiging kawawa. Napakahirap mag ng abaca, pero no choice kami. Wala kaming ibang magagawa kundi magtrabaho para sa pamilya. Kasi kailangan yun eh. Maganda naman yung layunin nila ng cooperative. Kaya siyempre kami wala din kaming tutol para hadlangan yung magandang layunin na yun. Bagkos susuportahan namin kung anong kagandahan na yun at handa kaming tumulong.
Ngayon naman, sa hirap ng trabaho, sir, sa abaca, talagang mahirap talaga yan. Lalo na pagka ang area mo, nasa malayo, pagka nandun ka na, bibili din mo, ganito. Lahat-lahat, halos finished product mo yan. Ganyan na, sir. Tapos pasan-pasan mo yun, pababa, yung produkto mo. Tsaka ka magkakaroon ng pera. Pagka tag-init, magandang mabilis, tsaka magandang kita mo kasi tag-init, mabilis ka magkaroon ng produkto. Sa girap naman, yun lang talagang hindi ka makakapagbili ng tuyo, puro basa. Yun ang kalugihan ng isang abaca farmers.
SAFAPCO was organized through the Agrarian Reform Infrastructure Support Project of the Department of Agrarian Reform. In 2009, a fire burned down the house of SAFAPCO's secretary at the time, destroying the cooperative's vital files, records, and documents which she kept in her residence. After the incident, many of the members lost their enthusiasm and became inactive due to what had happened. This in turn affected the overall status of the cooperative. The mismanagement of some of its previous officials was also a major factor that led to the co-op's inactive status. Because of this, SAFAPCO failed to submit their mandatory reports to the Cooperative Development Authority and other regulatory agencies of the government. The small business of the cooperative was neglected, and in 2009, it became non-operational. When SAFAPCO was starting out, DAR had played a vital role in its existence by providing it with machinery and building. But these were not utilized and eventually fell to disuse when its members lost their interest in running the cooperative. In March this year, SAFAPCO was revived under the leadership of Chairman Melchor Padua.
Nung namalagi na ako dito sa amin, inisip na i-revive. Ako na ngayon yung chairman. Sabi ko nga parang may sibol ng bagong pag-asa. Dumami bigla yung membership. Kaya siguro maganda prospect na cooperative na yan.
From the original 36 founding members, SAFAPCO has now 85 active members, 48 of whom are agrarian reform beneficiaries. Under Padua's chairmanship, SAFAPCO is set to embark on a very significant endeavor that would have positive impact on the cooperative's existence and its future, the Abaca Trading Project.
Yung pag-develop ng mga tao, mga social preparation stage, capability building trainings, dar ang may gawa.
DAR has assisted SAFAPCO every step of the way, from organizing to extending financial and technical assistance. Aside from providing the assistance and capability building, DAR has also created access and linkages with other agencies, which can also help SAFAPCO.
So yung access sa mga linkages with other agencies, ang nag-i-initiate DAR, sila pa rin, no? Yung nakaka-link kami sa DTI, sa DA, sa iba pang mga ahensya through DAR. So sila pa rin, napakalaki ng kanilang contribution sa existence nitong cooperative na to.
The construction of a processing center was initiated through the efforts of DAR, as well as the marketing of the SAFAPCO's products through its linkage with DTI. CDA's role is more on technical advisory functions and on updating the cooperative status.
Yung CDA, yan ang go-between namin doon sa Big Brother Cooperative na yung PLDC nga. Yung Pinoy Lingap Damayan Cooperative. Iyan, na-facilitate yan because of the intervention of the CDA, no? Without which, siguro, mahihirapan din kami umpisahan yung trading business. Kasi kailangan namin ng mga technical assistance dito. Kamukha niyang fiber classification.
The barangay chairman of Sagrada has shared the vision of the cooperative, as he himself has found SAFAPCO a great help in the progress of both the co-op and the barangay.
Bilang membro, malaking tulong ang co-op kasi diyan na nagkakaisa ang namin ang sama-samang kamay na magbibigay sa aming barangay para sa kaunlaran talaga ng aming komunidad. Pag nagsama-sama ang isang komunidad, doon na lalong uunlad ang aming kabuhayan. Mga nakarang cooperative kasi parang hindi maganda ang samahan ng council at ng cooperative. Hindi masyadong na-unite yung dalawa. Ngayon, pipilitin ko na magsamang maganda, maging magpartner yung council tsaka cooperative para sa itong layo ng aming barangay na ayusin ang kabuhayan ng mga tao.
What the cooperative needs at present are capability-building activities like trainings, the right equipment, and capital to sustain its growth.
Kung maaari nga na mayroong magbibigay ng training sa amin, na training ang mga membro para nang sa ganun, lahat na aksyon tumatama, hindi nagsasayang ng panahon, hindi nagsasayang ng kapital. Kung may training ang mga membro ng cooperative, pagiging perfect ang galaw, hindi magsasayang ng pira para sa trial and error ng mga lahat na gagawing aksyon. Hindi nga yung sa hindi ko may paliwanag ng gusto ang layon ko, pero bastang hangad ko yung progreso ang hindi nagsasayang ng kapital ng pera, pumunta tayo sa kaunlaran. Sa ngayon, as usual, yung isang kahig, isang tuka ang buhay kasi hindi talaga sila na-rehearse sa tamang pag-impok, trabaho, hanggang doon lang, kakain. Hindi sila masyadong natitrain sa kung paano ang mag-save ng kanilang na kinikita. Ako bilang chairman ngayon, inaano ko na sila, hinihimo ko na sila na ang kinikita sa isang araw, wag lahat ubusin sa pagkain lang o lalo na alak. Wag doon, kundi mag-saving sila.
Setting aside the challenges that came their way and which they were able to overcome, the people behind the Cdadar Farmers Producers Cooperative, through the assistance of the Department of Agrarian Reform and the Cooperative Development Authority, have continued to learn how to improve their lives and their cooperative, for it is only through the constant learning that they will grow as productive citizens of their community and as co-op members.
Ako po si Adan Laurelia. Chairman po ako dito sa Kapisbong Coconut Farmers Marketing Cooperative simula noong year 2013.
In a small village in Ondoy, Ibisan, Capiz, there is a tale worth telling. It's a story of how a small cooperative grew from a handful of individuals to thousands of members who decided they will not allow any setback to stand in the way of their goal. If there's one co-op that refuses to quit every time a trial comes its way, it's the Capiz Small Coconut Farmers Multi-Purpose Cooperative, or Casco Famco. Casco Famco has been through different kinds of tragedies, from a typhoon that ravaged the coconut farms to drought that has affected their source of income, from the mishandling of its finances to a fire that consumed the co-op's building, but they have overcome all these. Every single one of those events that came to them did not crush the spirit of the Casco Famco members. These tragedies actually made them even more determined in their resolve to bounce back better and stronger from where they were before. They say that coconut is the tree of life, and Capiz has an abundance of these towering crops. Casco Famco members have been utilizing the coconuts and their products as the co-op's main source of livelihood. At first, the co-op went into processing whole nuts for cooking oil. When a long dry spell hit their village, it took Casco Famco 2 years to recover from the losses. The co-op's financial losses piled up when the past leaderships mishandled its finances. Like other cooperatives, Casco Famco started out as small, with 42 original members when it came into existence in 1994, until it slowly grew.
Nagsimula kami ng piso-piso lang yung pagbigay namin ng share capital hanggat umabot na ng mga 200, abot ng 300 at nagsimula kami ng pagbili ng lupa. Binili ito ng mga pira ng mga members namin. Ang una namin produkto dati, nagbibili kami ng whole nuts. Saka i-process namin sa cooking oil.
Casco Famco was on its upward trajectory when a series of tragic events put the co-op's members to the test.
Na lugi kami, no? Dinaanan kami ng drought. Katapos ng drought, dinaanan kami ng mismanagement. Dahil yung nagdadala ng aming management dito ay pinaglaruan yung pira. Nakarecover kami ng ilang taon. Kasimula na kami ng malaki-laki na mga process namin. Yun na, dinaanan naman kami ng Yolanda. Noong Yolanda, marami naman ang aming nawala na mga produkto dahil wala nang whole nuts na bibili. Kaya nang dumaan yung Yolanda, nagbigay ang UNDP ng sinso sa amin. Yun, nagnegosyo kami ng coco lumber. Nangyari na naman, bigla na namang may calamity nga nagdating sa amin. Nasunugan kami ng aming building, nasunog yung mga equipment namin, nawala na kami ng hanap buhay.
As quickly as the tragedies happened, Casco Famco lost no time in getting back on its feet.
Nagtulong-tulong yung mga members dito. Nagbigay ng kahit ano na gamit, nagbigay ng bamboo, no? At ipagawa namin. Kaya nagsimula na pagbili namin ng kukkabayo.
Aside from producing cooking oil and copra buying, Casco Famco now has a wide range of product line including coconut fiber, coconut meat, vinegar, coconut sugar, virgin coconut oil, among others. Casco Famco's ability to remain steadfast in standing up after falling time and again is its members who refuse to surrender in the face of difficulties.
Ay sa totoo lang, yung mga membro hindi na-discourage. Ay kahit walang merinda dito, pumupunta sila. Walang kainan, pumupunta sila para makarinig kung ano ang dapat nga obligasyon nila. Malaki yung tiwala nila sa management ngayon. Ay kung wala silang tiwala, hindi sila dadagdag ng kanilang mga share capital. Kaya yung pag-asa nila na pagdating ng panahon, makaahon kami sa kahirapan ng nagranas.
Casco Famco's operations nowadays not only involved its members but other marginalized sectors of society. The co-op has employed detainees in a prison facility in the production of coconut-derived products.
Ay naisipan namin yung dati, kakaunti lang yung mga taga-twining namin. No? Saka nakita namin nung pumunta kami diyan sa jail, nga sabi namin para may hanap buhay naman itong mga kawawa nating preso, kinausap namin yung ng jail management. Kung pwede, bigyan namin hanap buhay yung mga priso dyan. Dahil kawawa naman sila, kahit ipangbili na lang nila ng dulce, wala silang kita.
The Department of Agrarian Reform, or DAR, was instrumental in empowering the Casco Famco in the form of various assistance extended to the co-op through the years.
So in terms of interventions naman, medyo marami-rami na rin yung mga interventions namin na naibigay. It ranges from technical assistance, particularly on the capacity development. May mga trainings tayo na na-provide sa kanila. Then meron din tayong mga trainings on product development, particularly on the cocoa oil mill na output. So may mga linkage tayo na na-established with the DTI, DOST para matulungan yung co-op na i-market yung kanilang mga products. Ang first and foremost na infrastructure project na naibigay na namin sa kanila under noon sa village level processing center. Yung phase 1 kasi ng building kami yung nag-provide yung sa likod. DAR yung nag-fund noon para i-construct yung isang building. Sa other components ng infrastructure, actually nagbigay din kami sa kanila ng project in terms of yung tracking facility. For the past years na nag-a-assist kami sa kanila, maganda na yung takbo ng kooperatiba.
Because of the direction that Casco Famco is taking, DAR believes it will grow much bigger as a cooperative specializing in the processing of coconut products, and that, eventually, it will become a major player in the coconut processing industry in the Panay Island.
So in terms of operation naman, maganda yung takbo ng operation in terms of management. So malaki yung potential ng co-op na eventually mag-grow siya, magiging isang millionaire co-op siya. Given ng mga difficulties na na-encounter in the past, for almost 5 years, nakita namin yung development ng co-op kasi nagsimula sila sa pinakamaliit.
The Cooperative Development Authority, or CDA, also has its own role in seeing to it that the co-op has complied with all the requisites it needs to survive and grow.
When it comes sa mga intervention ng CDA, so sa mga technical assistance po, sa mga reports na kuminsan may mga bagay na hindi nila masagutan yung mga reports, so tinutulungan natin. At saka sa mga inspections, every year kasi yung CDA, kami mismo, tinitingnan namin, pumupunta kami sa co-op para inspeksyonin namin kung ano pang mga problema. Yung CDA kasi, pag may problema sila at saka yung mga technical assistance, yun kami pumapasok. Kasi hindi naman kami pwedeng pumasok na mag-intervene sa kanila kasi number 4 principles ng co-op sa cooperative is autonomous and independent yung co-op sa kanilang operation.
Ay, sa akin malaki yung bagay. Dahil, siyempre, unang-una, yung pag-edukar. Kung wala kang alam-alam sa mga gawain dito, wala kang magawa.
Casco Famco's success story should be emulated by other co-ops who are struggling and are about to give up when faced with hardships. There is no easy way to success, but Casco Famco has proven that with the right attitude and the right amount of optimism, success can be achieved.
Deep in the mountains of North Cotabato live a group of tribes called the Blaan, a peace-loving people who have dwelled in this part of Mindanao and one of the early inhabitants of the island. They are blessed with the bounties of the natural resources around them and have utilized its rich soil for farming, planting it with banana, corn, coconut, rubber tree, ginger, root crops, and fruit-bearing plants. As one of the Lumad groups in Mindanao, the Blaan still have their traditions intact as reflected on how they live their lives on a day-to-day basis. The lack of infrastructure and development initiatives have made it difficult for the Blaan people to improve their economic standing. The villagers used horses instead to transport their agricultural products, even though these work animals have a hard time traversing the muddy road. To go to the poblacion, the people, with their horses carrying the produce, are left with no other choice but to pass through the muddy trail, flowing rivers, steep hills, and lush forests during a heavy rain brought by bad weather. Farmers cannot even bring their products to the market in the poblacion. The development that came to North Cotabato also brought to the peaceful tribe the armed conflict between the government forces and communist rebels that affected their lives, their communities, and their culture.
Ang pagbago sa Bakong kay suno sa ilang grupo murag na kuana na balik sa gobyerno ang uban. Nag-surrender na tong mga uban nga MPA, wala na kayo mo kuan diri. Wala na sila mo puyo-puyo diri. Nya ang katong mga Blaan nga ilang murag na kabig, murag na hinay-hinay tug birapod. Ayaw mo uban diha kay wala mo makuha diha.
As those troubled times subsided, the Blaan tribes pick up the pieces of those turbulent period in their existence. By this time, the government has adopted an exclusive approach to development by introducing programs and projects to the country's indigenous peoples, including the Blaan. The remote community in Barangay Bakong, Tulunan, North Cotabato was among the recipients of the assistance being extended by the Department of Agrarian Reform, or DAR. One of the DAR-initiated projects is the ongoing paving of the road connecting Bakong to the National Highway that would help ease the transportation of goods to and from the barangay. The people of Barangay Bakong first organized themselves as an association and had been that way for many years, even before they decided to form a cooperative. DAR has always been on the group side, providing them with all kinds of assistance. Another project DAR introduced to the agrarian reform beneficiaries of Bakong was the linking of small-time farmers to the market, essentially establishing a direct connection between the growers and the buyers. However, the problem of communication was among the challenges the association and the project implementers faced during the implementation of the project.
Isa sa mga kalisdanan nga among na sinati is ang communication barrier. No, so kay pag adto na mo diri maglisod mi og pasabot sa ilaha kung unsa jud ang konsepto sa among proyekto. Gani bisan og kanang limited na kayo ang among pagbalik-balik diri, na-adapt jud nila tong among gitudlo sa ilaha, no? Kay ang clustering approach is a sequence of 8 steps clustering approach nga kun dili lang kami facilitators ang gitrain, kundi pati pod ang among mga farmer leaders.
The linkage that the Bakong farmers have established has been sustained as the delivery of produce to their buyer has increased, and this has dramatically helped them in their livelihood. Even as the project expired in 2017, still the farmers were able to continue what they had started. The perseverance of both the Blaan farmers and DAR finally paid off when they signed a business deal with a large company to buy their banana produce.
Kung dati, garilay lang silang local traders, karon diretso na sa planta mag-deliver. Kaya kung dati, ang presyo silang saging na lang sa 2, 3, karon ang sa tong planta, 8. So nakita nilang diferensya nga kung apil sa ani nga proyekto, dako day ang ilahang mga benefits.
In March this year, the group finally registered itself as a co-op at the Cooperative Development Authority, or CDA. Aside from the improvement of their income, there was also an enhancement of their organizational skills when they officially became the Blaan Clayag Anda Didu Sinasto, or BKADDS.
Sugod nila into cooperative, mas na-appreciate na ko kay hanay na ang ilahang mga papers, no? Kay sa una mong sa association, medyo ako po dili po ko kakita og kinsa jud ang magpahanay sa ilang organization, kay ako technically dili ko hanas ana nga aspeto. Gani pag abot sa CDA o na-turn into sila sa cooperative, dili man ka matagaan og certificate of registration sa cooperative kung dili hanay ang inyong financial statement, mga organizational plan, no? So nagtabang jud ang CDA.
Both the CDA and DAR were instrumental in teaching the cooperative the proper way to manage their documents and equipping them with the proper accounting procedure. Although along the way, there were few obstacles.
Mga previous delivery nila, katong ga-adjust pa mi, lugi sila sa ilang pag-deliver. Gani, sa every delivery nila, nag-conduct yun mi og tinatawag na muna siya og post-delivery assessment. Kaya para diha na mo mahisgutan kung unsa ang mga nahitabo nga maayo o mga dili maayong nahitabo para sa way forward ma-address na mo to siya nga mga needs.
To iron out these bumps along the way that have affected its members, DAR has done its best to address the situation.
Grabing pag-analyze o pakipag-meeting sa ilaha, naka-recover naman po. Naka-recover na po sila, pero gani sa previous delivery nila, isa na po ang ilahang problema. Ang number one problem ng jud sa co-op karon is kana ilang commitment. Medyo naghina ang ilang commitment sa ilang mga membro kay tungod ang planta o ang local traders na to halos na nagpareha og presyo.
With all these impediments that they experience as a cooperative, its members are still grateful that CDA and DAR have worked hand in hand with the Blaan tribe to achieve the goals that they have set.
Ako nga tribo gyud mas kung in term of cooperative nagay unity nay kanang pagkakaisa nga mahimong malatayon og malambuon ang cooperative nga bisan ingon nga tribo kaya pud mo dumala sa isa ka kooperatiba.
With the pains of the past behind them, the cooperative is optimistic. Things will get better for its members. Now, the co-op's product delivery has increased and they can now demand for a better price for their produce. Slowly, the issues and concerns that have raised were slowly being addressed through DAR and CDA interventions.
Dako kayo kong pasalamat sir kay dili tungod nila wala mi nahimong co-op og tungod sa ilang tabang na porma mi og na kuan gyud mi nga mahimong kanang confidence namin nga mahimong co-op tungod sa DAR CDA nga partnership. Ug dako kayo mong pasalamat sila.
The cooperative, inspired by the assistance and guidance provided by CDA and DAR, have high hopes to continue their dreams and aspirations with the active participation of the members and the commitment of officers to give quality services to their members, protect their members' interests, and also to serve the community where they operate as part of their social responsibility.